Welcome back to Daily Persuasion. I'm Joshua Lisec, your host, the New York Times bestselling author, co-author, and ghostwriter now of more than 96 nonfiction books. I'm also a professional hypnotist, and I curate the days and week's news and commentary through my unique professional lens to teach you how to influence the VIPs in your life better. Now, over the past few weeks, you have probably observed quite a few, let's say, frantic online protests and gatherings, anti-Trump, of course, anti-MAGA, anti-American in many cases, over the so-called abortion battle. So they'll say there's this and that state legislation here, and this legislature is doing that, and Trump's going to do this, and Project 2025 that, and all this hysteria over so-called abortion rights. Now, there is an almost, in fact, no, it's not an almost, it is in fact a childlike understanding of the topic that you will observe liberals possessing. So when you see an advertisement for Planned Parenthood services, their most common advertisement is a flashing banner ad that just says, top to bottom, abortion, abortion, abortion. It's like, you're a child, you don't understand things. Look, 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 we want you to look in things. It is, of course, infantilizing. It is semi-dehumanizing, ironically, and yet it reaches let's say, the lizard brain level of logic, that sort of, I feel, therefore I am, perspective that liberals tend to possess. But I want to help you think critically around this topic. Most topics that we come up with, that we encounter, aren't really about the thing that is being debated. And one way to completely change the frame of a conversation and persuade people who are listening is to say about a topic what has never been said before, that they have heard, at least. To have the deeper understanding of what the topic is that's actually being argued about. So, for example, we like to think of this as sort of lib-speak interpretations. So when the liberal shouts, hate speech, that's hate speech. Yes, that is speech you hate because you are unable to counter it. You're unable to respond to it. You'll say, you're far right. Yes, I'm much farther to the right than you. Your side has literal communists. Yeah, I'm much further to the right than you. And so what you're doing is you are embracing and amplifying to show how absurd their position is. When they like to say, trans kids, protect trans kids, trans youth. Yes, you're referring to a CSA victim under the age of 18. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Because now you have the superior frame that brings the topic much deeper and darker and more serious. Because what this helps the observer do, the listener, the audience, is it helps them understand the severity of what it is that's really going on here. So when they talk about abortion rights, for example, who wants abortion rights? Well, liberal women. Who are liberal women sleeping with? Liberal males. They're not sleeping with conservatives. Remember how they're having like a Trump voter sex boycott, right? They're not sleeping with conservative men. Might be sleeping with the occasional libertarian who's like, yeah, bro, I love pot. And I'm like, socially liberal and fiscally conservative because, like, I don't like paying taxes on my Mountain Dew that I drink while playing video games. Har, har, har. Okay, back to Diablo or whatever, right? Elon Musk can play Diablo 4. He can get away with it. The rest of you can't. Now, here's what I want you to remember. On the abortion topic, they want the right to abort the liberal boyfriend's child. When I say this, people are going, oh, no, absolutely not. No, that's not really a thing. No, that's not it. They'll say, well, perhaps liberal females, as one commenter said, just don't want to have children of their own. They just don't want to go through the pain of childbirth. They just don't want their bodies to get fatter through pregnancy. Those are the surface level obvious observations that if you play in that field, you're falling into their frame and you're arguing against what they have presented. To reframe or to have a power frame, to demonstrate status, you present your own frame that smashes theirs. And I did that when I said, okay, imagine Kylie the liberal. Okay. Kylie the liberal, she finds herself betting Brad Pitt. They have unprotected sexual relations. She becomes pregnant. Does she abort? Absolutely not. Abortion rights, therefore, is a biological issue masquerading as political opinion. Abortion rights is a eugenics program to excise the inferior liberal male's genes from the next generation. Now, when you reframe the topic that way, you will get so much hate over it because you are over the target. As I say, you want to be so good they call you a fake, so good they call you far right, so good they actually call you a fascist. We've had a number of examples on this. I have a new ebook out called that, by the way, sort of a spiritual mini sequel to So Good They Call You a Fake, called So Good They Call You a Fascist. And when they're doing that, they're revealing once again that the liberal is like a child. The liberal mind is like a reality-free zone, and that the real world first principles and second order consequences just don't exist, and you're being mean, you're being unfair, and that's not nice. Just be a good effing person. That's how a fifth grader talks. That's how a fifth grader reasons. We've had other points here. The lesson to take away is that when a liberal is arguing on topic X, you have to understand that there's a real place from which they are arguing, and you can call that out. You can call that out. Because that is your power frame, that's your power move. And it's not for the benefit of the person you're talking to, who is going to call you a fascist. And worse. They might even get so angry they start spittling upon you, like a vegan protester that you might imagine, outside of a delicatessen. The benefits are the onlookers, the observers, the audience, whether this is happening in person or online. And you can remain calm, cool, and collected because you understand that the liberal mind is like a child, and you do not need to try to supplicate that. You can simply say, no, go to your room. Proverbially speaking, of course, although you might in fact have to actually say that. It is what it is, and what it is your opportunity to be the adult in the room.